Oh man, this is it.
No, but yeah, I don't know. Like one of the, it's just like the classic. Like, where do you see yourself in, however many years? What the fuck I'm gonna do in 5 years? So I want to know. I want to know.
think
I
I
want to
have an
get this
idea,
chat
bro.
booming. I want to
Come
get
on, we
this
gotta
chat
get this
pumping.
booming.
Come on, guys. Put your hands up like this. Chat, do this. Yeah. None of this. Yeah, none of this, bro.
I can't really hear
10
anybody.
kitty squats on your
Oh my
stream real
god,
quick.
don't. Are you?
All right, hold up.
You're gonna do this? Oh no. Wait, someone. Hello and welcome to the Virtual Voices podcast. My name is Bleach Streaks, and today we're here with Catmelt, the one and only melting with cats, and your only time to see them is when they DJ. So without further ado, may we see what Catmelt is, and who they are, and what they really trying to do in this game that you might get some information about them that you might be either a better DJ or even have better talents or even learn from them. So they're great. But you ready to freaking do this, bro?
Hell no.
Oh,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
all right. I'm not ready for this. I hope you guys aren't either, because this is a great podcast, and as you know, that we all kind of need the best time to do this. And you know, why not a better time to do it on stream? Because honestly, I think it's just better to do it when people actually are with us. You feel me? And I'm not. I hate this right now. Like I feel like I'm in like
You're crushing it.
look at this. I'm literally on top of my beanbag. I can't do anything, dude. This is Oh, I took a photo. I didn't mean to.
Dude,
I'm taking a photo.
Relatable VR chat moment.
I'm trying to.
Here, I'll join you. I'll join you in the air. How about that?
Dude,
Boom.
somehow I'm taking photos. And I'm not trying to take a photo. I'm just trying to switch out my pins. Okay, well, I feel kind of better about that now, because I think I kind of feel better about that now. Like someone's my actual height, and you know what I mean. Like as long as somebody's my actual height, that's what really matters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm down.
that's what-
I'm down.
that's what
I
matters.
like floating on top of the bean.
I like floating. I love the floating. Hell yeah. All right, Kamel, you ready for these questions? Because I'm not.
I'm ready.
All right, guys.
Okay. Should I keep floating? I feel like I shouldn't.
It's up to you if you feel like you want to float. That's all you.
How about I just stand?
No, you
Yo.
can stand. You can stand.
What's up, dude? Thanks
All
for
right.
having me on, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
no
hyped.
problem. You're hyped. You always seem like you're hyped, dude. I feel like you have the energy. You know, I feel like it's that natural energy. You're like one of my coworkers from work. He's like always invested into just doing activities, and it's just that's the kind of impression you have is that kind of energy to bring the audience to the table of just Catmelt, and that's what you kind of give the people. You feel me?
Hell yeah. I think that's like super important. I think just being excited about stuff, and I don't know. I just like, since I had a half body and just rocking the quest, like people would see me going crazy in the crowd. Like it's kind of what
Explosions.
I live for, you know, like the music, the energy, like I don't know. I'm just always hyped. And it's been a long time since I've got to dive back in to like art, music, on like a level where I'm creating it again, doing it with friends. Couldn't have done it without VR. So
Hell yeah.
I'm really excited. Like most of the time these days.
I feel like there's a lot of time for that to really come in, just to find the right people, and for you to really like be in that moment, to just, you need to have an ego, and that's what really takes sometimes, to just like come into this game and show off your skills, or even just learn and just like come in here, you know, and like, or hang out with friends more of the time, you know, that's what everyone does, right? I mean, I don't see anybody not hanging out with friends. But, you know, it's kind of cool to have a talent that you could show off, that you have skills, and this is not just what you've, like, were born with. This is something that you wanted to improve on and be great about it, and show the people that you are kind of that same person you are, and that this is Catmelt as who they are, and they have all these skills because they've really accomplished a lot of things, and they have a portfolio to do so. So everyone check out their website. And because didn't you update your website?
Shameless plug. Yeah, catmelt.com. It's
Catmelt.com.
a really messy portfolio.
Catmelt.com.
But yeah, check it out. If you guys like graphic design, I do a little bit of that.
They do a lot of that. What do you mean? You do a lot of that.
Yeah, I do a lot of that actually. It's taken over.
You said doo-doo.
Taken over.
I'm sorry.
And
God damn
my
it,
life.
you taking over.
But I love it. Like again, that's like that excitement. Like I think I've been gravitating to a lot of projects, and they really like excite me. So I want to be helping out on like the visual representation end of that, where I can, like logos, branding, you know, just making it really communicate visually to people in VR, and like off rip, right? Like I want someone to see a world thumbnail or like a poster and be like, "Yo, you gotta check that out."
That looks sick as fuck, dude. Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's what you make and stuff. You really put a lot of passion towards that kind of empathy, you know? Hold on. My mic
I'm having fun with it. Having a great time. Yeah, I fucking just started playing VR chat like last year, which was super cool. And by playing it, I mean like, you know, putting on the headset, going to events, checking out what's going on.
No, that's good, dude.
Good.
So, because we only have so much time and it's limited, it's only going to be an hour. And plus, I'm pretty sure you have to do more of your art stuff, and you know, I don't want to keep you too busy. So, as of what we've already kind of conversated and stuff, how did you kind of start getting into like the skills? What you got into? Like, what started first, the music or the art?
I would say they started at the same time. Like when I started making graphic design and when I started DJing were both when I was 13.
Oh my gosh.
I was really lucky, you know, I got into an arts magnet program growing up.
Oh wow.
And my whole high school curriculum was like dedicated to graphic design. So since 13 to adulthood, right, to 18, I like spent every year working to really get comfortable with like Photoshop, and that was back in the CS days.
Photoshop, yes.
So any of my graphic design homies that remember Photoshop CS, like,
oh
damn,
man,
that shit was awesome. That was before subscription services, and
oh yeah, that was way before. I remember when you used to just buy the whole just pass, you know, just pass and go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy.
I feel like it's a little bit harder for people to like get into it now because of that, right? You have to like pay to get into it. Or I guess it was the same before, but
it had a different kind of motto for it, because now everyone's looking into money, and it's not as like they go for the school and stuff. They go for the school and kids that they want to try to help out and make sure like their stuff is in order. And you know, like at the end of the day, like they have a job, you know, they have to make money somehow at that, you know, and that's what kind of everyone needs to see is everything's not free. So you have to pay what you like to do, and that's how like is. Unless you want to get GIMP, right? Unless you want to get GIMP, and GIMP's a pretty free program. It's pretty nice still. I haven't
Yeah,
really used it in a
I
while.
think the entry level for like a lot of art stuff can be daunting. Like, you know, oh, I have to buy a DJ mixer to start DJing, right? Oh, I have to buy an iPad to start drawing. It's like, no, you don't need those things necessarily to get started, right? And I feel like
right, that makes sense.
a lot of people are downloading the software for like DJing, and they're just practicing songs that sound good. You know, they're kind of styling, kind of like evolving, and then getting the hardware.
Yeah, I would say that
again,
too.
I was lucky. I've had the same mixer since I was, I don't know, like super young, like in high school, and I haven't switched since. I only have two channels and spinning
hey,
platters.
I feel like
so
that's just
like
enough. You know,
how
it's
I
not
do it.
like you need 5 or 6 of them, right? You just need like 2.
Well, it's really cool what DJs are doing right now with the new technology and like all like the like new mixers and stuff. Like, I think it's cool to see people getting into it and then jumping on to all these new features and stuff. I feel like I've kind of been rocking it old school. Just literally don't even use Q. I just, again, worst DJ in VR chat. What's up? I go off of like,
Sorry. I'm
oh man,
grabbing
this would
some
be
batteries.
crazy.
I'm
Like,
so sorry. My arm died.
oh, you're good. I don't know how to explain it, but
Like, I feel like
yeah, I'm like
I
the
feel
worst
like
DJ
the
ever,
basic
but it works out.
should be more intended to people is this is imagine being on an island, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you're stranded, right? But you have just the basics to work with. And that's what kind of takes a lot from people is they want to bring in more. But how can you bring in more if you can't do like the simple? Learn why you're doing the simple, you know?
Yeah, I don't really have any like tips or tricks really, like, because that's just not my thing. I feel like always with DJing, especially, it's always been about like how do you mix it up? How do you identify yourself as a DJ, right? Like, to me, all DJs are artists. They're all expressing themselves through a medium.
Right.
And I think that there's no right or wrong way to do it. Sure, you can have tastes, sure, you can have preferences, but I don't know. I feel like the best advice I've ever gotten is
Hello, Angela.
No advice. Like, I don't know. It's just like not taking the advice, right? Like, oh, you have to use sync.
Experiencing
or, oh,
how to just do it on your
like,
own might be a better way of just, you know, like for you to do
my
something
advice
on your own.
is to trust yourself. Like, honestly,
Right.
like just honestly trust yourself and like really dive into the music that you love and share that. Like, I feel like you're only gonna meet more people like that fuck with your style, fuck with your sound. Like, that's why I love this community so much. There's so many different pods and people and groups and events that are being created right now in so many different pockets of music. And seriously, you can just find any genre and it exists.
Definitely done.
Here,
Like,
right? There's at least a day dedicated to
I'm
that.
always seeing new kind of genres of music every day. Like
Right.
I think there's like hardcore pop or hardcore hardcore something pop, and I think it's like hardcore funk pop or whatever. But no, hard style pop, and I'm like, oh my god, there's gonna be there's just so many different kind of styles of music that everyone just makes out of just their brain. It's just fucking nuts. So,
Oh yeah.
with what VR chat is bringing into this, right? What made you, I guess, what made you getting good at trying to get into graphic design? Like, what was your inspiration, I guess? Because I want to kind of start with the art style and then the music, and then we'll bring it together to VR chat. You know, and that way you brought into that together and kind of get the. I think we got a little dabble of it now, from the graphic design side, but now let's get in. I think you did, or did you talk a little bit about the music side too?
Yeah, let's do it all. I mean, like I said, I jumped in VR a year ago. So that was me looking at my headset and being like, I own one of these and I don't use it. So I was very much like, I'm either gonna sell this or
Hey,
I'm gonna
real
put
quick,
it on.
reset your avatar. Your eyes are just closed.
Oh,
there you go. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
You're
I need
good.
to
No, you're
fix some
good.
blend shapes.
You know, it happens to all
Dude.
of us. We all tend to close our eyes for, you know, or no. You know, it happens to me a lot of times.
I could do this. Boop. There we
Oh
go.
shit! The Catmelt glasses, bro. Find him now on Catmelt's website. He made it. He made it.
One of the craziest experiences for me was definitely putting on the headset for quote unquote one last time before I sold it, and then going in and like seeing what it's about, because I've watched a ton of YouTube videos and shit. Like, didn't know there was really a club scene until I put the headset on, and I was like, oh shit, I met people who had full body, had never seen that before. It's just like a domino effect of
pretty much
new things that I hadn't seen in VR chat before. So I was like, holy shit, the minute I saw a DJ or the minute I saw someone playing music out of their microphone, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I'm going to figure out how to do this. I'm going to, you know, I would sit in front of mirrors at, you know, very popular chill worlds and stuff and just play music. And I kind of was scouted by someone at the time over at Virtual Sanctuary when they were popping.
Shit.
And they were just like, yo, you have to perform at my club. And I'm like, what the club? I'm like, what?
Club?
I'm down. And yeah, the rest is
Don't
history.
you love it when people don't know what a club is in VR chat? It makes them, it just throws them off. Like, wait,
it's amazing.
Virtual reality has a club? Like, no, yeah, they do. It's just you never know about it because you never, because you're not part of the. If you know, you know. Also, can you
very
unmute
much
real
is
quick?
that. But yeah, the like, I don't know. There's just like this really cool moment when you do start to seek out the music scene. As someone who, you know, has loved, you know, the internet side of that, like, you know, SoundCloud, Twitch, you had people, Mixcloud, you have all these different platforms where people are expressing themselves through producing music and doing, you know, mixes and creating visuals to stream alongside those mixes.
Yes.
To then see that physically be a thing in a virtual space like this blew my mind.
Insane.
And then
like,
I was like, how many of these are there?
It's mind-blowing to see how that you can show that you can bring the music to an immersive experience and people will always vibe. And you don't have to pay anything besides a headset, you know? And maybe a computer.
I think that's what really led me to fall into it. And I feel like everyone falls into it because if you love music, then you love music. And people are out here showcasing that, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I've been doing events and show running, and from top to bottom, from being the guy who throws the flyers on the street to, you know, booking correspondence and emails. Sure. And I think it's really important to bring that kind of like, that was kind of my thing. I was like, okay, I see the space, I see the people that are doing it really well. You know, you got like the really top clubs, and then I found a couple kind of on the ground floor that starting out, and something that really inspired me was the posters. I think the posters really...
The posters are what really...
punched me in the gut, because I was like, sometimes I'd see a really sick poster, and sometimes I'd see like something done on MS Paint. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what is this? This is the coolest thing ever, like, for a designer, right? I'm like...
Sometimes I see fire shit on MS Paint, like, not gonna lie, honestly.
No, Paint's awesome. I actually was working with someone. I was like talking to someone, and they were working in Paint, literally MS Paint, like the new one in Windows. So again, it just goes back to like, there's so many people that want to do this kind of stuff, be artists and make art, and I feel like VR has only helped kind of like influence that. And like I said, I was going to return my headset. I was about to quit DJing like forever. Oh my God. Because I'm like, this is silly. This is
guys,
like
guys,
you know, a kid with a
Catmelt was going to quit virtual reality. Throw my headset off. I'm walking away. I'm done. I'm
Just
done
art
with
in
this.
general, honestly. I hadn't even
Yeah.
played VR chat up until that point, and something about it, something about the opportunity to just show people stuff
Just to show
really
people stuff.
blew my
Dude,
mind. I'm like, oh shit.
you know what's insane is like this is literally like this is the world that you can create like a museum and show your artwork and be like, you want to go see my portfolio?
Sure.
For like, it's crazy. It's just like, you want to see my music? Boom, I put it over there. Go check out my music. And it's like, you have the
It's a
you
really
have this
creative
capability.
platform.
It is.
And I
It
think
definitely, definitely does.
like as a DJ, as a designer, I obviously fell in love with it. Like the minute I found out there was a scene, like all the posters would be what's it called? They'd all be consolidated on Party Hub, which was like a great
Right.
way for me to
Oh
be
yeah, that was a good map.
in tune with what's going on and all this stuff. Discord server, shout out. They're an amazing, like a really incredible resource for the scene for the longest time. And then being able to see that idea and that community kind of build and grow into the point where now we have a service called Timeline, where you just type in the website vrc.tl. You can see every single event happening, including all the different times that the DJs are playing. It's incredible. It's like you can even favorite the DJs.
Wait,
you can have a
what's it called?
schedule. VRC Timeline. So it's
VRC
just
timeline.
vrc.tl. And then if you want to check out any
What?
events or anything that's happening that week, it's just completely
That's
there.
insane.
And it was
I
made by
didn't
one
know
guy.
that. That's so cool. VRC timeline. That's dope, dude. That's awesome.
And I remember Woody, who is the creator of this, shout out, super cool guy. He was building it for the longest time, and then I was like, dude, I really want to create the identity for this, because this is like a huge thing for the community, especially in music, for performers. And yeah, and then I made the logo, so that was super fun.
There you go.
Just kind of like really that really cracked my brain open. I was like, okay, this is important. This is something I want to like create that will last for a long time. And that was like the first moment one of the first moments I had where I'm like, okay, wait, I want to make things that have a really powerful intent behind them and like matter. And whether it's a logo, whether it's like a DJ set, just art in general, like it's just ramped back up in my life. And I gotta thank all the homies.
There's projects you could never
that
do that you like
me.
you wish you could have done when you started, because
Exactly.
that creative environment was so high in the potential that you never had the chance to really accomplish that until you realize there's more to it. And then when you see that you finally got the chance to make it, all those things you could have done in the past are here in your favor, and now you can do it. But now those ideas are like not still there anymore, but they're like slowly coming back. They're always now you can make it, but now it's like there's time to make it. You have time and you can make all this shit now and you can do it, but it is kind of like it's kind of like slowly coming back to what new ideas you come in mind, plus the old ideas coming together. But now,
yeah, and I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, community is a big part of that. I think making art and like feeling excited, like, can only go so far when you're alone. And I think,
right.
I think some of my favorite moments, DJing or doing anything art related, is showing my friends. And
oh yeah,
that's so cool. There's literally so
like
many friend groups that are individually like helping each other out to create something that they're proud of or something that they're excited about. And there's so many opportunities to visit all these things and like just soak. Like there's so many creative minds on here. And I think, if you're thinking about getting into music, art, DJing, like this is probably one of the next biggest platforms for that.
I would say so.
I just
100%.
learned Blender in a year because
Bro,
I'm like I want to make stuff, and
Yeah.
I haven't felt that way in a very long time as a person who wants to
make shit,
stuff.
you know.
Like,
If you want to make more stuff, that's what kind of like my mentality is. If I know how to do this thing as a creative, then I know how to do more. And you know, that journey is there. But now here's the question I'm gonna ask you, Catmelt, is have you always stuck with the same art style? Because I know you got into tattoos and I know you got into graphic design, but is that the same art style that you are making now? Because it seems like a lot of the art style you make is like magazine kind of stylish. You know what I mean? Like
Thank you.
that pop, like it looks like pop out. I don't know if I'm saying the word right, but it's very like it's honestly nostalgia to me. Because when it comes to
Thank
that
you.
stuff, when your art comes in, it definitely comes in like, I feel like I can literally see this as a poster every time I look at your art. It's literally fucking amazing. Like it looks
That's
so cool that
awesome.
I could literally frame it on a wall and be like, yeah, bro, this is my homie's work, bro. This is like literally like crazy amazing person. It's
Thank you
insane
so
though.
much.
Yeah.
That
No,
is an
like
awesome.
you like the style that a lot of people, for me, for personally, I can't really stick with one style, but I know how to
Oops.
interpret a style that I can make it look like the same. But if I were to stick with the same one every time on my art, you know, it'd definitely be something different to me because I'm sticking with one thing, but I also want to introduce like other ways on how to grow with other kind of like I want to mix styles together in that way. Like you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
That's like what my mentality is though.
That's a great it's a great question, by the way. You asked how the art styles differ or if I stick to one style because of the nature of me working on different projects. I work on a ton of projects right now. I hope I get to talk a little bit about a few of them. But yeah, I'm working for a lot of really cool people in the world space. You know, Wispy Woo, Artsy Glitch, Zelfine is one of the newest people I'm working with, and
Heck yeah.
I have to kind of like make sure that I'm
Mm-hmm.
not mixing too hard when it comes
Right.
to people's identities, right? Because I want everyone to have their own
Yeah.
lane. And I actually did I do try to take a lot of the techniques and a lot of the things that I've learned through previous projects and apply them to everyone in the future. But I do my
Most
best to
definitely.
create an individual art style if it's for someone's in specific. When it comes to
Right.
like my stuff, my tattoos, my if you've seen my Twitter, you'll probably see a couple things like, you know, a selfie that I edited intensely because I have a DJ set that night or something.
Right.
So
Right.
a lot of that personal artwork is really like in the moment how I'm feeling, like very emotional,
That
usually pretty chaotic. If you look at my tattoos, it's like insane. It's just a
it
culmination
is
of
very
like
insane. It gives me, oh, there
everything
you
that
go.
I've been through.
Get it get a
And
360. I want all the audience to
yeah,
see.
check it out.
Guys, look at Catmelt.
Here, I'm taking my pants off. Twitch,
Whoa!
it's okay.
Whoa!
Twitch, it's okay.
Whoa!
But yeah,
Bro, you look like
I'm
Venom. You look
I'm
Venom, but
really
that's sick
passionate
as fuck.
about the tattoo stuff right now because that's something I saw. I saw people with tattoos in the game, and I'm just like, oh, that's really cool. Like I recognize some traditional styles, and you know, kind of like went through the ether of looking at different artists, and nobody was. I don't
Ah,
know. Nobody was really making. There were a couple, but there weren't very many people doing like neo tribalism, like sigilism, or like even just straight up. You know what I do sometimes is I'll just do like a graffiti tag and just boom. I want to slap it
boom.
on me
Yeah, dude.
because it's just how I'm feeling. I love the feeling of just throwing shit on a canvas and being like, okay, that's dope, and
Boom.
then put it on my body.
I feel like a lot of the
And
artwork you have with yours is love and nostalgic. Like
it is. It really
the
is
Windows
pulling
icon
from.
is fucking
Yeah,
amazing. That
yeah.
shit looks
I have
fucking
like the
premium.
AOL little guy right here, a bunch of ASCII art, and Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff isn't mine as well. I think I have like 90% my work, 10% some of my favorite work that I wish I could get in real life. Can't afford it right now. But that's another thing, is like VR chat, you're able to be whoever you want. You're able to look however you want. Super cool.
You can represent anything on your avatar that is yours. And
yeah,
your avatar
and I want to create like tattoos for people. I want to be a tattoo artist. Something that isn't necessarily feasible for me right now in real life. Something I've always wanted to do. I think it's like super sick. You know, I used to live with a tattoo artist, which was amazing. Seeing the progression
awesome.
from the ground floor to becoming an established artist is one of the coolest things to look at. Like, just on the sidelines, like, and honestly, I wouldn't survive in a apprenticeship in real life. Like, they make you
so.
they make you stay overtime and do all this crazy shit. Sure, but I don't have the
it
time,
is a tough
right?
job
like,
though.
I don't.
It is definitely a tough job. Like, cause in the
you
know,
have to
like,
dedicate your life to it.
You do. You actually have to. It's crazy. And for
Whereas
people that
with
like
this, I can just, you know,
just do
this is
whatever.
really
You
cool.
can do this and you don't feel stressed. Like trust me,
I don't have to clock in. Right.
Right. You don't have to clock in. And you know, for me, like, it doesn't feel like a job if I have to do something that I love to do, which is like my clothing and shit. You know, like I make money off my clothes and I fucking post it online and it's great. You know, I don't need to like have to do it every time, you know, and it feels great to have that mentality. Is just like, yeah, I can just post it and make me feel like I make money off this and I feel good about it because everyone supports me and everyone likes my stuff. And you know, maybe not be perfect as like the next artist that's like probably spending almost 3 times as much as what they're doing, you know, but at the same time, you know, like art doesn't have to be complex. Art can be in a very simple way of just shapes or numbers or even combining things together that's just very simple. Or even like,
I really love the tattoo stuff. It's definitely
that tattoo's
something in another outlet that, you know, I make posters and logos and all this stuff, but sometimes I don't find the time for myself to like, you know, I think making art for yourself is one of the hardest freaking things to do. At least for me. If someone figured it out, let me know. Because every time I've ever tried to make a logo for myself or, you know, even music, like you're always trying to define yourself in that moment. And I feel like that's super hard. But
it is. It definitely is.
Sometimes it's good to recognize that because then I'm like, oh shit, like, well, if I don't like what I'm making, then how about I just make shit that I like and then I'll, you know, like kind of like pretending it's not for me. And then I'm like, okay, we'll put it on my body. Like, cool. And I don't know, like that's a lot of this is just it's a big crazy.
Canvas.
Like,
and honestly, you tend to realize that canvas should either be something else or there should be more on that canvas. Because there's a lot of empty spaces.
On before Twitch bans us.
I mean, honestly, Twitch is. I don't think they'll dox you, bro. I think Twitch is like, as long as you don't show more than your bikini, bro, I think you'll be okay.
Well, it's funny. The Refuge Twitch actually caught a ban midstream, apparently for some type of like too much buttocks showing for an extended amount of time. Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, that's tough. Like, there's no way.
That's like a. But this is the video game.
That we just got banned for that.
Bro, Call of Duty, you see people die. Like, that's like yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess, yeah, no.
We appealed it
so.
within like 10 minutes and they pulled it out like 10 minutes later. So we were only down for 20 minutes, but they hit us with a 3-day for a butt. Yeah, and I'm just like, damn,
bro, and these other people like showing off their like cleavage and shit, and then like
it was more of like an auto mod. Did
you see that one girl that like showed off her butt while streaming?
Oh, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those.
Like half.
There's a lot of people doing that.
It's, you know what, Catmelt, I think the next DJ set you should do that. I think Twitch won't ban you.
Just totally naked.
Just totally naked. Just Just make sure to have a leaf and.
I think yeah, I think that was wild. I don't know why I brought that up, but
No,
yeah,
you're
because
good.
I was putting clothes on and I
Yeah.
just put on
Yeah.
shorts.
So
Sick.
this is gonna be probably like the
Yeah,
last question on this one. Then I'll have
sure.
like actually I'll have like one professional one and one silly one. So
Word.
from everywhere you came through, from like starting out somewhere with graphic design to the music part, and honestly when it came to just first owning your ever I don't know what that, a MIDI, do you have a MIDI? Yeah, your
Well-
MIDI deck and what?
Oh,
I
okay.
don't-
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
your
my
MIDI
DJ
deck.
stuff.
Yeah, your DJ deck, and then first starting out to get your however far you accomplished to get to where you are at now by taking the art style which you made and becoming whatever you wanted to be until you got into VR chat. What is something in the future that you want to be accomplishing? Maybe this year, maybe next year. Like, what is something in the future
That's a good
that you want
question.
to try to become or
That's
do?
a good question. I mean, right now I'm working on a bunch of projects. I won't fit them all out or anything like that, but I'm really excited for a lot of these projects that I'm working on because they're very much have an intent to go beyond just being a club or being a night. Like, it's more so like an experience, right? Like, think of it as an art experience or, a music showcase, but it really is about that rather than playing billiards or beer pong. Like, I want to work on more projects that are a mix of the two because I'm still going to have fun and do a lot of like, one of the ideas I want to do is like, pretty cool that I'm not going to talk about. I almost let it slip, but
Oh damn!
but something really
I can't
sick
pick your
right now
brain.
that's happening
I'm just kidding.
is everybody that has been doing this for a minute or the past year is like rethinking. Everyone's like, oh, what's like the next experience? What's our
You weird.
next thing? And that comes with like map updates and whatever, just like the VR chat updating in general. There's always going to be new stuff. So
Right.
my goal, I guess, would be to kind of keep that trajectory, not get too busy with stuff. I think I've done really well kind of like scheduling and managing myself as far as projects go in VR. So I don't know. For me, right now, I see a lot of these things that I'm working on, and I'd like to see them thrive, even if like I wasn't there, right?
Right.
I was watching a really good video the other day on Ludwig's mogul moves versus his new company, and once he removes himself from one, a lot of people kind of just like lose their job, whereas the other one, he gets to then lead different teams to accomplish that job for many, many years, right? I
Right.
think it's something a lot of creators struggle with. A lot of, streamers, YouTubers, they're constantly making content on their own front and then kind of like pushing themselves through themselves.
Right.
And then there's kind of like that struggle of like, how do I keep that going without burning out? And I think,
Right.
yeah,
There's
I
a lot
just
of
wanna,
books to read about that too, and that's what's kind of like,
yeah,
the
I want to
trouble
get
of
better
burning
at
out's hard
dealing with that. Yeah, exactly.
because you know what your grind is, but you also don't want to exceed a lot of burnout because then you won't have enough accomplishment because you've done
Hmm.
it so much that you just burn out. But there's always breaks. The biggest thing about graphic designers and people that are loving art is that you don't know how to take a break because you're so invested into projects, dude. It gets it
True.
gets very dangerous that wow, I've been on the chair for like 12 hours and I haven't taken a break where I didn't even drink a glass of
Hmm.
water. Like I need to go do that. And then turns out right when you stand up, you just flap on the floor. And you're like, oh, this is why I don't take breaks.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy being an artist, let alone being an artist in VR. That's constantly trying to create like this identity, like you said. You know, how did you make this art style and like grow into this? I think
Right.
it's all just because it's sick, because it's
Right.
fun.
It's sick.
That's the reason I kind of fell into it. That's the reason I want to stick to it.
Right.
I definitely don't want to get bogged down with like anything that might not really, I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I want to manage like what I put my energy into more
Right.
and
Right.
do more cool shit with people in and outside of VR. I think one of my biggest kind of like, how do I say this? Like guidelines, I guess, for the year is how do I create a memory, right? I really want to create memories for people, and in a way where you remember VR as this like emotionally impacting thing, which I believe it is for a lot of people. So just really investing my time in projects that emotionally impact people in the game in a positive way.
Right.
I think definitely I'll
Oh, did your mic just cut out? Oh, oh, oh. I think. Hold on, guys. Oh, Camille, you good? I can't hear you. It's okay. Well, no, I definitely see the side of that. You want to create a memory for everyone out there, and just having. I want to say having a world might be one of the most like beneficial things that everyone should do is learn how to create a world and understand how to find the way of bringing
I'm sorry,
your. Oh,
my mic completely cut out.
no,
We
you're good.
can
You're good.
redo that
No,
last
you're
minute
good.
that you were
I'm
just
just
talking.
answering on like what part of the thing you said. I think having that as a
Mhm.
memory to bringing. I'm sorry.
That's kind of
Having a
where the nostalgia comes in. You
yeah,
know, like I
yeah.
want to create those memories, whether it's through a graphic, an event, experience, a DJ set, like all the all those things that I get to have one shot at impacting someone. I really want it to count. Like I think that's all I can ask for as an artist. And
Right.
if you remember it, like for me, some of the events that I will remember forever, like in my head, are gonna be concrete. It's gonna be loner.
Oh my
Those
god,
are
yes.
experiences
Those are
visually
experiences,
that I
and you know what?
have.
That's what's something that
Comp-
drove you to what you wanted to do too, as well, is because something opened the door to what you can imagine, and that's something that you
Mhm.
found inspiration from.
Well,
And
it blew my mind. Those two places, they're first of all, they're the first one that pops in my head, and for a reason, right? I think it's definitely, and the funniest part is, I think those two have in common more than a lot of people think. When I go to those two events, or when I've been to those two, I kind of like went alone. It was one of the first places that I'm like, I want to ingest this and like really enjoy what's going on alone, and enjoy the music, enjoy the atmosphere, and that allowed me to observe way more. Like I'm not getting caught up in like a conversation like about whatever. I'm completely attentive to the production or the world or what have you. I think everything that they're doing has that emotional impact right when you walk in. And I think that's a labor of love. That's definitely like a lot of people giving a shit or someone giving a shit. And that's cool as fuck. I love it when people
I think
give
so.
a crap about stuff.
I think when
And
somebody gives a shit about what you do, I think they'll make someone understand that you have something that nobody else has. And that's
not even
that's-
that. I think everyone can achieve that. It's just like you really got to sit with yourself. And sometimes, like for me, like you said, like you got to manage your bandwidth on like creating things and stuff. Is like so true. Like very recently, I've just been able to enjoy the DJ scene a lot more for what it is. I don't like to call it the DJ scene, but the music scene here in VR is super sick. And I think being able to just enjoy it and not worry about like, oh, I need a DJ or, oh, I need to do this, that, and the other. It's like, no, just being present and really soaking in what people are doing is so inspirational to me.
It is.
Yeah, it's just like what keeps me in here really is everybody else doing their thing.
Right.
As much as I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, and that's something I would say is like to strive and to grow. You know, it just try to do the little things that are gonna be a big thing in your life that you see. You want to do every DJ set, but you will burn out. So do only so many you can do, so you don't burn out, and learn how to get better. And until you realize that, I mean, if you want to experience what burnout is, go be my guest, but you're not gonna really be as satisfied anymore. Is if you just learn how to be better and just understand, you will be accomplishing way more. You'll probably be better than what you think you are. And honestly, it's just practice. But at the same time, you have something that is very unique, which is the mind of somebody that can make something with music. And that's so crazy to me that people can make music with just sound effects and just like so many loops. I don't know what, like, I don't know. I'm not a DJ, but I know that there's a lot to becoming a DJ.
It's a great mystery. I think the coolest part about it is that I see new DJs all the time, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's like, how are you doing this? I want to do this.
I feel like some tones actually speak for themselves. Like a bass drop is like, this is gonna explode. This is an explosion, or like this is about to be a riser that just turns out to be like, there's so many effects that I don't even know about that make it into like a storyboard. And I feel like some people have the capability. It's insane. It's insane. But
that's all it is. Yeah. Burnout's important. Definitely. I didn't take the advice when it was given to me. I was playing like 10 shows a month last year, every
10
month
shows? Holy
for
moly,
a long time. Dude. Yeah, and I mean, I got my fix. I was definitely like super happy with it. I wouldn't say I burnt out because of that. I burnt out definitely because I was working on a lot of IRL and in here, just starting my graphic design like role in a lot of different projects. And I think
that's something good that like at least
managing
you have
yourself
that kind
is
of
really
hobby.
Important.
You know what I mean?
But also making mistakes is really important because you learn from those most of the time, which is great. I mean, I learned from so many mistakes last year in so many different areas. And I feel like,
most definitely,
if anything, I'm, again, like from the beginning, I'm fucking excited. I'm stoked. I'm ready to keep doing my thing. This is fun. I'm really glad that we got to talk about, like,
hell yeah,
this is
this
stuff.
is gonna
we
be
did
the
do
last
this
of
before.
the questions. Huh? What's that?
Oh yeah. No, I was saying we did do this before, and I'm sorry if I'm not hitting the points that we talked about before.
No, this is all we do. I'm pretty sure everyone can agree with me on this. Everyone knows that I don't want this to be professional. This is literally what I do. I just want to talk about something that you feel comfortable explaining, because I just only had to say so many things until you express yourself. And that's what's coming from you as an independent artist, as a DJ, and a creator that likes to make shit, that like you really just splurge on a bunch of just you really just explode on a lot of creativity that comes in mind. And that's what the unique thing is you tend to bring in that kind of atmospheric way with people, and you're still the same person. That's what's fucking amazing, is like you are still the same person. You don't change. You give people advice and you give a shit about what they do. So that's what's amazing about it.
Thanks.
Last question that real quick, what is something that you, as a DJ or even as an artist, what would you say is the most complicated thing by both of them? You could start with one or the other, it doesn't matter, but what would you say that as an artist, for sure burnout, but as a DJ, what could you improve on, and how could you improve yourself of learning how to start somewhere instead of just play music?
That is a great question. Yeah, that's something that I've asked myself so many freaking times. Last year into this year, I feel like into this year, one of the most important things is if I'm playing a DJ set, I don't want to add this shit to like my pile of DJ sets, and I'm like grinding like crazy like I was in the beginning. Like I need to play all these clubs and all this thing. I think it was more about meeting people at first, and now it's about expressing like a story or like creating something for that event. And I think, yeah, the advice I want to give myself, or that I'm trying to give myself lately, is have an intent, right, with everything, including design, music, the DJ sets. Like I think having that feeling behind that work really it hits and it connects, and that's the work. That's like, you get up there on the DJ set and you start going crazy, and it's something you've worked on for past day, past week, however long, and then you get the reaction. Then you get the like, yo, that was sick, and it means a lot more. It like really hits home when people fuck with it, because you spent time on it. It's not just like, oh, I got this booking, I gotta go to work right now, or oh, I gotta make this poster. Like I think something that's really been centering me is having an intent, and really like dialing in on the environment, or the
I would
So
also I would also include on, it's not, I forgot what the saying is, but you can steal someone's art by replicating it, by improving yourself. Like I don't know, like there's some saying to it where you can still steal an artist's work and you can improve on it, but not just copy it, but just like even a DJ set, if you want to make this person's like rhythm bass, you start with the basics. You start kind of understanding what it means to have that rhythm, because everyone has to go through the tones. I don't know what the thing is called, but it's like it gives you the click, and then it gives you like what you have to follow this bass the I don't know what's called, but you have a system. I feel like
a lot of it is inspiration. I feel like one of the most common feelings I get in here, inspiration, and I like to call it that more so than copying or stealing, because stealing involves a lot of like, hey, I'm taking this and I'm saying it's mine, like like in whatever manner. I think it's like paste.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think inspiration is so important for me, and it's like the only thing that keeps me in here. So I'm definitely not stealing, but I'm definitely
like, you see other people's work and you know that
inspired.
You get inspired by it, and who knows, you might make like something similar, but not like exact, make maybe the same style.
And to better answer your last question, I want to see like a graphic design server from VR come out. Like someone's got to start that, because I want to.
Maybe it should be you, bro. Maybe you should
work,
do that. Maybe you should have graphic design classes. Or
maybe
you should learn how to.
A lot of bandwidth for that.
Oh yeah, it is.
For like starting.
That's why you have a
whole new community.
Right, whole new community, whole new Discord. You should have.
Maybe
that's where you can make a YouTube channel.
It should be more of like a commune, right? Like I don't want to be the like, oh, I made this. Like no, I'd rather just like have a friend post a cool poster and me be like, yo, that's fire,
there you
dude.
go.
Like
that's fire. I mean, who knows?
If
maybe
someone wants to learn right? Being like, hey, how
There
do I make
was
that?
a
and then
time.
they get in a call and they show them.
I mean, honestly, just having a class with Catmelt, you know.
No. I am not a
Bro,
teacher. By any
that
regard.
I mean, having the
I do
basic
not
of
like
just
teaching.
learning how to just do that is probably fire,
But-
honestly.
If someone was interested and they're like, yo, this is like I would be more than open to, share my creative process. I feel like that's
Right.
I don't really tend to do that a lot, but now that I'm learning all these 3D programs and
Bro, just wait
all
until
these
you learn
friends that have
Blender,
been doing
dude,
it.
on how like shit's crazy. It's crazy on how like you saw that photo I just sent you. That like realistic flag emulation of that is the flag looks real. Like that shit's crazy to me. But
amazing. Yeah.
There's-
and those are
there's so-
those are the things that you know, if I were to come to you, I'd be like, yo, how did you make that?
just
Like,
wait
there
until you
will
bring
be-
your like there's gonna be one cool thing about 3D environment is putting your art in a 3D space, not like VR chat, but in a atmospheric place that is involving like your work in somewhere in like a city or even an atmospheric like land you've never seen before, and it just looks amazing. And then when you see that shit, it's like, yeah, this is my work. I made this shit and this is what my art looks like. But
It's got to be an incredible feeling. I mean,
does.
I've had it a couple
It really
times. I would say with the Refuge guys, we did a 3-day festival,
Wow.
nonstop, 69 DJs, 1 hour
holy
sets.
holy
and
shit,
it was completely ran by
69
our staff.
DJs.
69 DJs. It happened last year on 6/9, so June 9th. We're
Holy-
doing it again, which will be again in June 7th through the 9th.
Wow, that is
Sticking with
that's
the
funny.
6/9
That is
theme.
that is a good number. You know why?
Why?
Because my birthday's on June 7th.
No way.
Yeah,
Come through.
yeah.
Come celebrate on the first night of
Yes,
3DA.
I'll come celebrate
Um,
for sure.
It's going to be amazing. That's one of the projects that Refuge took on that, like you were saying, like you kind of just sit back after it's all done and you're like, holy fuck. Like we
Yeah,
did that.
I've
That was
had
so
so many
sick.
times like that. It's insane.
Yeah. And
Like this.
I feel like,
this. This is what I'm proud of, and it's actually
hell yeah.
coming along. You know, it's coming along. But you
Yeah,
know, like a
thank
big
you
event
for
like that
having
must
me.
be like exhausting. You put a lot of work into it, but people will remember that day. That's the shit.
That's
That's
you go.
where people get
memory.
it. You know, the memory.
right. Boom. That's
And
what
you
I
know
want
what?
to do more.
I
in
would
here, at
call
least.
this
More
a
memories.
cheers. I'd call this a cheers and say that we're here to wrap it up. We're already an hour and 9 minutes. Thank you so much, Catmelt, for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I wish I had my
Thank you so much.
I wish I wasn't standing on this beanbag. But hey, everyone, please give my homie some love and care because they work their ass off on anything they work on and they show off the work. And also they told me, oh my god, I didn't even know that you did that shit. Is you have collabed with a lot of creators that I like am crazy like Wispy Woo and stuff, and it's awesome to see that you have the capability of showing that you have the ability to give your art a much more vast experience with creators and and even companies. And that's what's insane is this person didn't just lay on the couch and thought of like laying on the couch and just they're born with it. They work their ass off. They've took a lot of time in their day. And you know what? That's what's crazy is if you work hard enough, you will get somewhere.
Or you won't.
Or you
But at the same time,
trial and error.
I think fucking do the thing. Shout out Black
God.
Market, shout out Schism, shout out Refuge, shout out everybody that I worked with last year. Thank you so much for, involving me on the project and being able to have the opportunity to make art for y'all. And I feel like I have way more fun making art for people than I do for myself sometimes. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but expect more Catmelt shit,
Oh,
more music.
Catmelt
We'll be producing
shit.
music.
Let's go.
I've got an event slash map slash sick ass fucking experience that I'm working on with Meow Milk. So be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be called Heavenly. Save the date. We don't have one yet, but
there will be.
Yeah, working really hard.
There will be.
Working really hard on that. The next thing that is coming out that I just got put on a team with, it's called Redline. So if you see that, check it out. All the branding is going to be done by me and Propaganda. And yeah, it's a really, really sick concept. I'm just going to say, go check it out. You know, I'm not even going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to drop the names and dip out of this one.
I guess you're going to have to find out until you see it.
There's way too many shout outs. Like,
you already know that he's going to be reposting that shit, you know, and that's what the great things about Twitter is. When you know that someone's going to be posting, and you see that someone's going to be making it or seeing something really cool, people are posting. So enjoy, everybody. I hope you all had a good night. This is Catmelt. This Virtual Voices is out. So I'll see you guys in the next one. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and yeah. So I'll see you later.
Are we still live?
Yes.
Oh.
Remember, that's how I do it.
Thank you, guys.
That's how I do it on every outro. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom and be done. But yo, I hope you all have a good one. I'll see you later. Peace.